What's up, comic book fans? Pete here from Comic Books Transform, where me and my good friend Brian over there discuss comics that have been adapted into movies and in streaming shows. We have been covering Wonder Man, which all dropped on the same day, but we broke it up into three different reviews. Now we're covering the final three episodes. And Brian, I got to make a correction right off the bat because I don't want to come off as like racist or whatever. I mean, I know this is a little dramatic, but like I said that Simon Williams' family was from New Orleans. I was like, oh, because they're speaking French, and but then they're actually from Haiti, so
Maybe,
I had to make sure I corrected myself.
that's a good call out there. Yeah, I did notice them actually say that in this one of the recent episodes. I want to call out that we said we cover adaptations of comic books, and I remember that I for a change watched that entire YouTube video you sent me about like the history of Wonder Man. Who was that guy? It's like the robot guy.
They're a superhero.
Sir Superhero. Yeah, I knew it was Sir something. And there's been like absolutely nothing to do with the comics in this whatsoever. Like other than like the name of the character, the acting angle, and like the fact that his brother exists. Like, what has been from any comic at all?
Right. I mean, so okay, let's address that right off the bat. There's Damage Control, right, which is from Marvel.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And then there is the Mandarin, but like that is literally just the name of the character. It's not the actual Mandarin from the comics.
Yeah, no, but I mean, this is more extensions of the MCU versions of those things, and I'm just saying, like, there was no point in watching that video for like background information because there's nothing you need to know from it.
Yeah.
To watch the show and enjoy the show. That's not a knock against the show. I actually really did like this show a lot.
Yeah.
But it was very far removed from anything comic book at all.
Yeah. And I think also that you're probably not doing any kind of knock against Sir Superhero because even though everything he said had nothing to do with the show, I still felt like that video was very entertaining.
Oh, it was. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was a very entertaining video. But those are long videos too. So it goes really in depth. So I just wish that because I think it was the first time I actually watched the entire one that he sent me. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be really useful, and it wasn't useful.
It wasn't useful at all. All right, but here's the question, Brian. The moment of truth. Did you watch that Darkhawk one when it came out?
I have not yet. I have not finished the Darkhawk. I probably started it. I don't remember, but I will rectify that today.
Yes, it made me. The Darkhawk one was just like it felt like it was made for me. And then he recently did one on Elsa Bloodstone too.
Okay.
Yeah. So and he'll do this thing where he'll tie stuff into Marvel Rivals, maybe even like Marvel Snap. If something's coming out because he figures that a lot of people aren't familiar with these characters, and so he's going to make a video. But it's funny, like. Good.
I was going to say that I think Elsa Bloodstone just joined Marvel Rivals. I downloaded that game on two different systems, my PC and my Xbox, and I never played it. And I just erased it because I'm like, I'm never going to do this. Let me just get rid of this and save the space.
Right. It looks kind of cool, and they have like random characters in it, like Emma Stone. Emma Stone. Jesus Christ. You tell I'm sleep deprived. Emma Frost, and
yeah, the designs are really cool looking. I mean, they also kind of just have their own continuity, sort of like,
right.
And they are kind of giving you those these like, I don't know, really non-comic inspired costumes and stuff like that. But I love the visuals of it, but I just don't like that kind of game really. Oh, I think you just muted yourself.
So here's the funny thing. I think we did. I muted myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're going in and out for a second there, but you sound good now. So.
Oh, okay. I got a phone call, but like, here's the thing that's funny. I think that for each of these Wonder Man reviews, we've kind of gone off on tangents about things because even though the show is very enjoyable, it's just there's not like a lot to have a discussion about.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I like to the angle we take, although I'm sure we could do a better job of it. Is kind of comparing things to the source material. And we probably could be a little bit more informative, I guess. But there wasn't much to inform, like we just said.
Yeah. I mean, we could go in chronological order while we talk about this show, but I think one thing we should address, going along with what you just said, is they don't ever explain where Simon got his powers from in this show.
They do not. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't think the show needed it to make the compelling story. I mean, the core of the show is just the friendship between Simon and Trevor, which I never would have expected, to be the basis for a show about a superhero like this, and not be based around powers. But it was kind of refreshing, and I really liked it. And I don't know how popular the show was. If people watched it, I didn't really hear many people talking about it. I heard some critical reviews of it that were pretty positive.
Right.
But I mean, I have no indication if this character will show up anywhere ever again or not.
Right, and that's a real shame because I think him and Trevor would be great additions to any kind of future MCU thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like then you're putting him into the more traditional superhero story, and then that's not what the show was, and we kind of changed the entire dynamic of it. Like, I kind of loved how this ended. It was very, very open ended, and it kind of took you a few minutes to kind of figure out what was going on. But once they did it and they ended it, and I was like, no post credit scenes come up or anything like that. I was like, wow, that was surprising in like a really good way, like a feel good way.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like they could have trimmed some stuff down and this could have been a movie like the way that Unbreakable is a movie, where it's about superhero stuff, but it's kind of not? Do you think that, like, if it wasn't a Marvel character and it was just this story about this actor that happens to have superpowers, do you think they could have trimmed it down and it could have been a good, tight movie?
Yes, and you do that by removing episode 5.
Right. Yeah, get rid of that. The birthday party thing is good. Yeah, get rid of episode 5 altogether. The episodes are like 30 minutes apiece, right, or less?
Yeah, like they're longer than a standard half-hour show, but not quite like a standard hour show. That they were around 30-ish minutes. Although I gotta say, man, I have the ad-supported Disney Plus. They picked the worst spots for the commercials. And there
really?
were so many more than I would expect there to be.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was getting commercials like every 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, and it was like right in the middle of scenes, It was bullshit.
Dude, I hate ads. For pretty much every streaming service I have, I pay for not having ads. But then YouTube, I don't. I watch YouTube a lot. With YouTube videos, you'll watch like a fucking 9-minute video, and there'll be ads like 6 times in a 9-minute video.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with the YouTube videos, it's usually the creators adding the ad markers there, so blame them more so than the platform. But
right. And you can hit skip ad too. But hey, Brian, the good thing about us is we're never going to have ads in these videos, are we?
No, because I talk about things that we shouldn't talk about without realizing it.
Oh, I was going to say because we have no audience, but
that's too. That's probably a little more important. But yes.
So all right. What's that?
And we'll never get one.
Yeah. So let's bring it back to the order of the show. So we had that episode 5 that you're right, could have totally omitted. Then we have this episode where the next episode is when they go to the director's house, right? Like his name's
this was the callback episode. Yes. So this is the episode. They show up there basically at the director's house. I did really get a laugh out of the Simon's kind of like neuroticism or whatever. Like he sees the shoes outside, and he's like, "Do we take our shoes off? Do we not?" I love that he's staring at that lady's feet and you just can't see if she wears shoes or not. It was a stupid little gag, but I really enjoyed it. And then, it's just they set him up with there's a couple other people there for the callback going for the role. There's 2 other groups of characters there. I don't think 2 of them like ever spoke.
Probably
they initially switch up the pairings of everybody. And, they have Simon work with somebody else and Trevor work with somebody else. And the other 2 guys, I don't think they spoke. like after they introduced themselves, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it was just I really liked the episode because they were kind of giving them these weird acting exercises to kind of show what they're capable of, what their range is, and Simon kind of gets in his own head. He does a scene from Pretty Woman, and the director doesn't like that. But I really liked how he kind of was like, "I'm done. I give up. I can't do this. I'm gonna go home now." And then Trevor turns the line from the movie they've been rehearsing into motivation. I loved how they kind of weave that into them actually doing it in front of the director, which I guess is what got them chosen for the role.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, each little episode, with the exclusion of episode 5, it's just this like great dynamic. It's kind of the same setup every single episode where Simon just gets in his head. He's overthinking things to the point where he's going to sabotage himself, which essentially he did in the first episode. We saw him sabotage himself.
Yeah.
And then Trevor kind of pulls him back. All the while, Trevor is secretly working for damage control and then also reluctantly working for damage control.
Yes.
Right? And it's like a really satisfying formula. Like Simon's complex that you mentioned, where he is just like constantly overthinking things, is a pretty unique complex for a character to have in a superhero universe. And I mean, just in fiction in general. Obviously there's neurotic characters in a lot of things that we watch, but his way of like overthinking things makes him like really interesting. And then Trevor's past, where he was kind of a buffoon, like we see him in Iron Man 3 as a buffoon. He's not as bad in Shang-Chi, but he's still pretty bad. Here, like, we see like real character growth, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and it's in that dynamic with that kind of. I think they even refer to it as a bromance in the show, like that really makes both characters shine.
Right. I mean, you're right by saying that it doesn't really work to put him in other MCU things. It's kind of not the way the show works. But I think just having those characters would improve anything. Like, it'd be weird to see them in like fucking like Avengers headquarters and there's like glowing holographic screens everywhere. But then it would still be kind of like, could you imagine this Simon interacting with some sort of beast like from the X-Men?
Well, that may be, honestly. I could potentially see that, but like you couldn't see. There's no reason for Trevor to be anywhere near anything Avengers whatsoever.
This is true,
especially given his legal status now.
Yes.
So it's I don't see how they could have Trevor be in anything larger. I mean, maybe they could have Simon do something, but I think they could also lean on that kind of pacifism angle, saying, he's there to help or support somebody in a way, but he's not gonna hurt anybody. But they haven't really mentioned anything like that so far. And to the point that Simon daydreams briefly, and he kind of feels like he's being called out about his secret powers by this other actor, and he literally punches a hole in his head, which I believe for like a fraction of a second. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that was on like social media that they showed that clip where he just puts his fist through the guy's head.
Yeah.
And they didn't like end that clip with him kind of snapping out of it. So I was like, oh shit, does he like really just straight up murder someone on the show? And then when the scene came, I was like, oh fuck, is this like where it's gonna go? I mean, ultimately, I'm glad it was just a daydream, and I am satisfied with how everything played out. But you bring up a point I kind of want to talk about after we explain how it ends.
Okay.
So with that being said, the next episode, it's mainly focused on this reporter woman who is going to just watch Simon and write up this, review about him and, maybe mention Trevor in it. She's supposed to be like inconspicuous, and she makes multiple references to how you shouldn't like even acknowledge that she's there, like pretend she's not there. And one recurring joke that they kept bringing up was that like she wrote up a story about Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and there was something about a turtle, right?
No, I thought it was a pigeon.
Oh, Pigeon, right, Pigeon. Okay, right. That turtle, something else I watched recently. But yeah, Pigeon. And even though it's kind of a corny, and they bring it up a whole bunch of times, it still got a little chuckle out of me.
Yeah, no, I was a nice little callback to that. I thought. Yeah. So the second, the seventh episode is them. They get the movie. They both are cast on the role, and they're on set. And then I also, again, like you mentioned before, Simon kind of is on the way to self-sabotage himself, kind of overanalyzing things, and Trevor was there to like pull him back, like hey, just do this. Okay, let's go with that. And Simon's all worried about he's worried about how the cast and the crew perceive him on his own without Trevor. He's worried about what his ex-girlfriend's going to say about him in this interview, what his brother's going to say about him in the interview. And then he had nothing to worry about the entire time with that. And then, which I love that they put so much focus on Simon worrying about it that you didn't consider that she would attack Trevor in the interview. And that's where this whole big revelation was coming, which you knew was coming from like episode 1. You knew this had to happen at some point where Simon was going to find out that Trevor was working for damage control and spying on him. So it was fully expected there, but I really liked how they kind of misdirected you with that because I wasn't expecting that to be where it happened.
Right. And then that, of course, leads to this kind of the biggest special effects moment of the whole show, which is that when Trevor reveals that he was secretly working for damage control, he tells Simon he's going to try to fix it. He shows remorse, he leaves, and then Simon is in the movie studio, and he just basically vibrates until he just fucking annihilates the movie studio.
Can I interrupt here? So I have on I'm watching the Olympics on the side over here, and it's the USA versus Slovakia game, and there's this one player on the US team named Quinn Hughes, and there's this running gag that every time he's on the camera, he just the look he has on his face just looks like there's invisible ghosts just haunting him. They just showed a close up at him, and it was exactly that.
Oh my god! When you are done, I want you to send me a link of this dude because I want to see this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's so funny that he always he's like standing there like this other like ghosts are just like staring at him.
I gotta see this. And look, I can actually tie that back to comic books, man. Have you ever seen the dude that is like the actual inspiration for Wolverine, like Wolverine's appearance?
No.
And so it's actually a hockey player that was the original inspiration for Wolverine. And when you see this dude's pictures, you're like, holy shit, that hockey player was Wolverine.
Do you got that name offhand?
I totally 1000% don't, but I'll look him up. You send me your ghost seeing guy and we'll swap.
I'm just doing a general Google search here, see if I can find it really quick. Oh wait, from Slapshot. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a fucking movie hockey.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. You can definitely see that, like, especially the John Byrne Wolverine, like looks exactly like that. Yes. Okay.
Right. I thought that was so cool. It's like, that's fucking Wolverine right there. Anyway, bringing it back to this Marvel property, that sequence when he loses control and he blows up the studio, I love the way that looked. I loved how like he was essentially just standing in the rubble of that collapsed studio. Yeah, that was a great like final kind of cliffhanger before the final episode.
Yeah, I agree.
So then the final episode is really just the fallout of that, making a reference to our other show that we just covered. But you think that maybe Simon might be in trouble. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He's the one that detonated the whole thing. I actually had this spoiled for me too. Someone somewhere, like maybe it was TikTok or something, talked about Trevor having to become the Mandarin at the end of the show. And I was like, oh, he's going to do that to kind of help Simon. So I had that spoiled, but the sentiment behind it was still so good that I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't have it spoiled. I thought it was very surprising. I wasn't sure how the show was going to wrap up in the final episode, being that explosion kind of thing happened at the end of 7. But yes, the sentiment behind it was fantastic. It really goes along with, Trevor initially just trying to save his own hide, but, finds this like really great friendship with Simon and is just torn between getting thrown back in prison and trying to support this guy because he cares. So I thought it was a really nice moment that happened there. And then, there's a good like 15, 20 minutes after that where, Simon's just filming the movie, and then the movie comes out, and he gets the glasses from the actual original movie. We didn't really talk about the flashback scenes too with him with his dad when he was younger. I thought that had a lot of nice context to his kind of journey throughout, and how he was kind of an outsider all his life there, being picked on as a young kid. Yeah, like the movie comes out and everything's going great, and then it just cuts to him in a bar talking to this like trucker guy, and and they make it seem like he's researching a role, and you don't know what it's about. He won't tell you what it's about because he's contractually obligated by the studios or whatever. And then that goes on for a while too, and it just took me a bit to understand what was going on there. And then you see the prison. Now, I don't know which prison this was. It's not the Raft, because the Raft is more New York.
Right.
Is it the same prison that was in like Thunderbolts? But I don't think so, because that was. I mean, they didn't really say where he was. Was it still in California? Maybe it's not a particular comic reference, this particular prison, but.
It's not a particular comic reference, but it's a particular MCU reference, because they do show that prison in Ms. Marvel as like a damage control prison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember who the fuck they put in the prison, because I'm like, doesn't everyone that the bad guys die and stuff? But
wasn't there like some like gang of like crooks or something like that they fought against, or she fought against, or something?
Probably, yeah. But anyway, like, so I watched a TikTok where the guy was like, "Look, this is that prison from Ms. Marvel," and then it's like, well, who's on the raft at this point? Like, the only person on the raft is the leader right now,
Maybe.
So, yeah. I mean, they had a whole bunch of Avengers on there after Civil War, but that was it. But yeah, so that's like a location they're using in the MCU, and I was like you too, Brian, where I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why is he like studying this guy? And I didn't make the connection that he was like trying to learn how to break Trevor out of prison. I just thought it was like some sort of weird method acting thing that he was doing. Like he felt he had to like, I don't know, like repent or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I had no idea where it was going.
Yeah, but it was kind of really great. And I love that he gets there, and then he uses his powers to break the bars, and he's essentially, he paid the guard like a lot of money before he did any of this stuff, and I'm assuming he left some money for his family as well, possibly. But it seems like he's given up his fame and his life just to save Trevor. He chose friendship over self-interest, and I thought that was such a refreshing thing. And the fact that just the final shot is just them flying off out of the prison, and that's it.
Yep.
And it was weirdly satisfying that they didn't have to put like any further like cap on it. It's like, like, hey, my friend's there. He's the only reason I'm here. I'm getting him out, and I don't care what the consequences are. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It kind of reminds me, like, it's this kind of movie where it's got the superhero ingredients, but it's really about relationships, and it's like much deeper and slower. I already referenced Unbreakable, but it kind of maybe reminded me of like Chronicle in that regard too. Just these movies where it's not about costumes and fighting a bad guy. I mean, they do fight a bad guy in both those movies too, but like that's not really the point. And that was this show too. That, like, the brother's in it. He doesn't fucking become the Grim Reaper, right? Like, he has powers. We never find out where his powers fucking come from, right?
We don't find out what happened to Josh Gad.
Yeah, Josh Gad is just gone. Yeah. So then I'm gonna ask my question that I said to put a pin in or whatever, but you were talking about how like Trevor couldn't be in like an Avengers base or whatever in a future MCU movie. Do you think that like because they're on the run that maybe they shack up with some villains, or like some villains take them in? Because Baron Zemo is the one that gave Simon Williams his power.
Oh, he's
And I think
somebody that could be in the raft.
was he? I thought he escaped and stuff at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Fuck, did he? I don't remember. No, because they changed the focus wasn't on him. The focus was on the girl by the
Right.
end. Whose name
The
I can't
power
remember.
broker.
No, well, yeah, her too, but no, I meant the Revolution girl who's also in like the Han Solo movie and something else.
Oh yeah, she was like
red hair and the freckles.
Right. She was like Disney's It Girl. They were trying to make a thing. She was in the Han Solo movie. She was in Willow that we covered on here.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And she's actually in 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple too.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I did watch Bone Temple. I'm sorry, I did watch 28 Years Later. I haven't watched Bone Temple yet.
Oh, Brian, why the fuck are we talking about this show, man? Just go watch it right now.
We had intended to go see it, but it kind of got out of theaters by the time we got around to it. And then we almost saw Send Help in the theater, but we ended up seeing Iron Lung, which I was talking to you and Danny about, which I really liked.
Okay. So. Nice. Yeah, man. Just turn off your fucking hockey player that sees ghosts and watch 28 Years Later somehow. Okay. You know, it's so fucking good. Okay. I kind of think we've covered like everything in the show. Is there anything else you have to say about Wonder Man?
No, I liked it. I'm wondering if we'll see him again in anything, if there'll be a second season. I don't even know. I don't know what they could do. I don't know, but if they do or don't, I'm satisfied at the very least.
Okay. Well, I did not prepare you by saying like, let's rank all the MCU Disney Plus shows. So I'm not going to make you do that. But I want you to think about all the shows that we've covered, because we've covered every fucking MCU show on this channel, right? Yeah. If you could, in your head, kind of picture what's around the top, what's around the middle, and what's at the bottom of your list, at least, right? Where would you put this show?
I would put this. I might put this like kind of like a top 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, dude, I think I might be on the same page as you, because like I think about other shows like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think I liked this better than that. I liked WandaVision better than this. I liked Agatha All Along better than this, but I liked this better than Moon Knight. I liked it better than Ms. Marvel. I liked a lot of parts of Ms. Marvel though. I definitely liked it better than She-Hulk. But then I think I would put Daredevil. Shit, I don't know. This and Daredevil, it's kind of hard to say what I liked better.
Yeah, because like we talked about that with Daredevil, that kind of like edgy kid version, sort of. Right. And I feel that's kind of very prevalent in it, although they have their moments here and there. I was looking at the old ranking sheet I have here, and we have not really officially ranked MCU TV shows for a while. Like the last time we did it, where is it? Was the last time I wrote it down was July of 22.
Jesus Christ! Wow. Okay. It's kind of crazy that we've.
Right. That can't be right. No, it's 23. I wrote it down wrong. So yeah, I haven't done an official ranking for quite some time, but I'm guessing that was July. Maybe that was so. She-Hulk's on there. Secret Invasion's still on there, so it's probably after Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
But
okay, so let me ask you: would you include the Guardians Christmas special and the Werewolf by Night special on this list, or no?
I do have Werewolf by Night on this list, but the Guardians Christmas one was that winter of 23, wasn't it? So
okay.
So it wouldn't have been on there yet, but I think I would consider it to be a part of this.
Would not?
I would put it on there. If I put Werewolf by Night on there, I think that would belong there too.
Okay. So this is what we should do, right? Because I don't think we have anything to cover next week. Like maybe next week we could do our best of 2025, right before February is over. Well, February will be over by then. But do our best of 2025. But then maybe we can also throw in our Marvel ranking, MCU TV show ranking, just for fun.
Yeah, and then we just got a couple short weeks, and we'll have Invincible season 4. And then before that's over, we'll have oh no, is it the boys? Yeah, I think
Really?
the boys. Yeah, they're going to overlap for us again.
Okay, cool, man. I'm totally fucking down with that. Yeah, so that was fun. Guys, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, all 30 minutes, you are Wonder Men and Wonder Women of your own. And we're very grateful. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and we'll make sure to vibrate just right for you next time. See y'all.